Well, a very good evening to you all and a big thanks for joining us for British Speedway Quiz Night number 12. Hope your week has been good and kind to you up to now. And naturally, we hope you continue to keep safe and well. We will be getting round number 1 of tonight's quiz underway in just under 5 minutes time. But as ever, we do spend these first few moments just allowing the live player count to build. And we'll run you through the few rules in a few moments time as well. Would like to start this evening by saying a big thank you for your continued support and interaction as well on our social media channels. And we've seen plenty of you heading to the official British Speedway website as well, speedwaygb.co.uk. Plenty of you heading there in recent weeks, checking all the latest breaking news and developments. And plenty of meeting reruns as well going on at the moment. Even clubs continuing now due to this enforced season delay. But plenty of Speedway being broadcast online. And we do have a designated page on our speedwaygb.co.uk website with what meetings you can view, where and when. Like I say, the interaction has been excellent on our social media channels as well. And I'm sure the vast majority of you are aware of all of our channels and accounts by now. But just in case you're not, then do give us a follow on Twitter at SpeedwayGB. You can like our Facebook page by searching SpeedwayGB. Give us a follow on Instagram at Official British Speedway. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Speedway Great Britain. Plenty going on with rider interviews and Throwback Thursdays, meeting throwbacks, everything going on those social media channels. So please do give us a follow, a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Talking of our social media channels, something coming up for you this Monday. We're continuing our Monday Night Speedway broadcast series. And this week, it's July the 6th, 7:30 on our YouTube and Facebook channels. And we are heading back to June 2016 and an Elite League clash between the Wolverhampton Wolves and the Bellevue Aces. And it's another cracking contest from the Monmouth Green Stadium between the Wolves and the Aces. So that's our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast, Monday, July the 6th from 7:30. Back to British Speedway Quiz Night number 12 then. And as ever, 40 questions coming your way. We have got our bumper opening round. Regular quizzes will now know what that entails. Questions to do with all sorts really, a bit of everything and anything, nicknames, stadiums, track records, roll of honours, you name it, it's probably in there. Then we move on to our 2 theme rounds after a short break. Our first theme round this week is called Team Photo. And our second themed round is called From Across the Pond. So you will all become aware of what that is about a little later on, if you can't guess already. Then we will take a slightly longer interval where we view some more video clips from the British Speedway video archives. And then we return and run through all of the 40 answers tonight. And again, it's just for a bit of fun, no prizes. And we do award 1 point per question in our marking scheme, in case you were wondering as well. So, like I say, plenty going on, plenty to look forward to. And like I say, it's been great to see so many of you getting in touch in recent weeks, giving us your scores. It's been nice to see a few of you enjoying it more by achieving some personal best scores on these quiz nights over the last couple of weeks as well. And like I say, we do fully appreciate your continued support. So it is about time where we start getting the questions underway. So without further ado, let's get British Speedway Quiz Night number 12 up and running. Round number 1 then, and as ever this is our bumper opening round, 20 questions coming your way. Naturally, starting with question number 1, which British club are nicknamed the Warriors? So which British club are nicknamed the Warriors? Question 2, which club's crest logo have we zoomed in on here? So which club's crest logo have we zoomed in on here? Question 3. In a heat of speedway, if a rider is kept in the race by his team manager after touching the tapes in the initial staging, what handicap is he handed in the rerun? So in a heat of speedway, if a rider is kept in the race by his team manager after touching the tapes in the initial staging, what handicap is he handed in the rerun? Question 4. Which National League club are based in the county of Suffolk? So which National League club are based in the county of Suffolk? Question 5. Ruboy is the nickname of which racer? So Ruboy is the nickname of which racer? First multiple choice question of tonight's quiz then, for question number 6. What country was Birmingham's Valentin Grobauer born in? So what country was Birmingham's Valentin Grobauer born in? Was it A, Austria, B, France, C, Germany, or D, Russia? Now the Speedway European Championships get underway tomorrow, but can you remember for question 7, in which year did reigning European champion Mikkel Mikkelsen last appear in British Speedway? So in which year did Mikkel Mikkelsen last appear in British Speedway? Multiple choice once again. Was it A, 2014, B, 2015, C, 2016, or D, 2017? On to question number 8, and time to put riders in a certain order. From oldest to youngest, can you put the following 4 Ipswich riders in order of their age? So from oldest to youngest, can you put the following 4 Ipswich riders in order of their age? And we've got A, Jake Allen, B, Jason Crump, C, Danny King, and D, Nikolai Clint. Question number 9. Who is the reigning triple Australian under-21 champion? So who is the reigning triple Australian under-21 champion? More multiple choice coming your way for question number 10. Which racer currently holds Berwick's track record? So which racer currently holds Berwick's track record? Is it A, Davy Bellego, B, Craig Cook, C, Kevin Doolan, or D, Aaron Summers? Question 11. Chris Hunt is the current team manager of which club? So Chris Hunt is the current team manager of which club? Well, we are trying to make it slightly easier this opening round this week. So multiple choice once again for question 12. Which racer won the British Under-21 Championships in 2014 and 2016 and the British Under-19 Championship in 2015? So which racer won the British Under-21 Championships in 2014 and 2016 and the British Under-19 Championship in 2015? Is it A. Josh Bates, B. Adam Ellis, C. Kyle Howarth or D. Robert Lambert? Question 13. Can you name the former rider pictured here during his Eastbourne days? So can you name the former rider pictured here during his Eastbourne days? And once again, another multiple choice for question 14. Which British club did Hans Andersen race for in 2018? So which British club did Hans Andersen race for in 2018? Is it A. Leicester, B. Peterborough, C. Poole or D. Swindon? Question 15 and another racer appearing on your screen. Which British youngster is this pictured during his Somerset mascot days? So which British youngster is this pictured during his Somerset mascot days? Question 16. Darcy Ward won a treble with which club during his maiden British Speedway season in 2009? So Darcy Ward won a treble with which club during his maiden British Speedway season in 2009? Question 17. What was the name of the competition which followed the completion of the 2015 National League? So what was the name of the competition which followed the completion of the 2015 National League? More multiple choice for you for question 18. Who has picked up the highest number of silver medals in the history of the British Championships final? So who has picked up the highest number of silver medals in the history of the British Championship final? Is it A. Craig Cook, B. Chris Harris, C. Joe Screen or D. Kelvin Tatum? Question number 19. Which Grand Prix rider made his home debut for Coventry in their July 2011 Elite League clash against Kings Lynn? So which Grand Prix rider made his home debut for Coventry in their July 2011 Elite League clash against Kings Lynn? And the final question of tonight's opening round, question 20. In that same fixture we've just mentioned, who proved to be a star guest for Coventry, top scoring with 15 points? So in that same July 2011 Elite League fixture, who proved to be a star guest for Coventry, top scoring with 15 points? So that does complete tonight's opening bumper round. Time to sit back for a couple of minutes and relax. We'll be back with our 2 theme rounds very shortly. But first, here's some more examples of some fine footage from our British Speedway video archives.
So 5 points the lead. The King could wrap up the match in this one, although Wilson has made a good start from the inside. He leads the way. Kemp is in second. Ledwith now coming through in the second place. Ahead of Drew. At the back it is Adam Shepherd. It is a shared heat, which will mean that Plymouth, well, they're still going to have chances going into heat number 14 as it stands at the moment. Wilson is who leads the way. He's under pressure though from Ledwith. Rob comes through on the inside of the Plymouth number 1. He takes up the lead, and now what's for Drew Kemp, because he's going to be challenging Ben Wilson as well for second place. Down the back straight it is Rob Ledwith that still leads away from Ben Wilson in second. Drew Kemp not far behind in third as they come round to start the final lap. It is Ledwith that leads away then. Wilson and Kemp having that battle for second place as Wilson, well, he's got problems there, and Drew Kemp has come through in the second place. Wilson that we seems to be slowing with machinery problems. It's Rob Ledwith who takes the victory. Second place does go to Drew Kemp. Third spot to Ben Wilson. He did just manage to hold off Adam Shepherd, but super riding there by the Kemp pair to secure a 5-1 in heat number 13, and that's wrapped the match up.
Takes fire where they go. Good start out of gate 2 for Michael Palmtoft, but he's bundled aside by Eric Riss, and Kim Nielsen's made a good one as well. Nielsen on the outside of his team partner. Palmtoft looking for a way back through on the inside of Eric Riss, forces the German wide on bend number 3 and 4, but Eric Riss won't be denied, trying to power his back round him. Competitive action once again in heat number 10. It's Nielsen out front on his way to his hat-trick of victories. Eric Riss committed to the wide outside here with Michael Palmtoft, thrilling race in between them, and Eric Riss really going fast into the top corner. Has he gone too wide there? They come through with 2 gone. Palmtoft back through on his inside. Some fabulous racing here in heat number 10 between Michael Palmtoft and Eric Riss. Palmtoft now takes it up. Riss now dive bombs his way back through on the inside. Great stuff for the Lions man, now trying to take Palmtoft wide. Kim Nielsen makes a slight mistake as well. Palmtoft somehow got round the outside of Eric Riss. Some fabulous racing. We've lost Lewis Kerr, who's packed up at the back, but Michael Palmtoft watching second spot there. I thought for a moment the Lions were going to take their first 5-1 of the night, but some brilliant racing in heat number 10. Kim Nielsen, his 3rd win of the evening. The Lions take a 4-2, which levels up the scores, and some fabulous racing there in heat number 10.
That deserves your support there. Terrific speedway race.
Kim Nielsen was a swift start away. He got out in front, but then Palmtoft and Riss had a final battle, and it was the Somerset man that won out in the end.
Right, get yourselves ready then. Time to move on to our final 20 questions. 10 questions coming up in both of our themed rounds. And round number 2 this week is called Team Photo. So yes, for our first theme round this week, we've decided to have a browse through our photo albums, and we've picked out 10 team shots taken at press and practice events. All you need to do is tell us what year it was. Now obviously if it's your club, then you should get it a lot easier, and they're all team photos from a year that was quite memorable for that club. But that doesn't necessarily mean it ended in tears of joy. But still, all I am going to tell you is that there may be more than one photo from one year, and at least one of the answers is 2010. Also, none of the answers are before that year, so bear that in mind. So pay close attention to the riders. I'll read them out for you as well to hopefully help. And if nothing springs to mind, then remember what I've told you and just have a guess. And you never know, you may wing it right. Time for team picture number 1 then. So standing at the back from left to right, we've got Adam Ellis, Troy Batchelor, David Lampart and Tobias Muszalek, with Jason Doyle seated and both Zach Weitnecht and James Shanes kneeling. But what season did they start the year with Swindon? On to team shot number 2 then, and for this one we've got Mikael Beck, Eunice Kilmacorpy and Max Clegg, with skipper Freddie Lindgren on his machine. Then it's Jakob Torshell, Kyle Howarth and Sam Masters. But which season's Wolverhampton side is this? On to picture number 3 then, and next up you'll see it's the Sheffield Tigers, and the team at their press event in this specific year was Lasse Bier, Todd Kurtz, Rob Branford, Kyle Howarth, Josh Bates, Josh Groshonik and Jack Parkinson Blackburn. But what year was it? Team picture number 4, and you'll all instantly recognise that this is Birmingham. But what year did their team consist of Chris Harris, Martin Smolinski, Nico Cavati, Danny King, Josh Orty, Jason Doyle and Ben Barker? Team shot number 5, and what a team this was on paper. Just listen to the names here: Darcy Ward, Bjarni Pedersen, Davey Watt, Chris Holder, Jason Doyle, and at reserve Artem Marochka and Leon Madsen. A great team on paper, as I say. But what year were Pirate supporters lucky enough to watch that septet week in, week out? Image number 6, and next up it's a Kings Lynn side, and on your screen you can see Lewis Rose, Lewis Kerr, Casper Anderson, Thomas Jorgensen alongside team manager Dale Allett and squad member Josh Bailey standing, and in front of them we've got Ty Proctor, Robert Lambert and Niels Christian Everson. But what year did this group represent the Stars? Next up for image number 7, we've got Somerset, and standing from left to right we've got Bradley Wilson-Dean, Jake Allen, Charles Wright and Paul Stark, with Josh Groshonik seated. Zach Weitnecht is kneeling on the left with Rowan Tungate kneeling on the right. But what year is this team photo from? Picture number 8, and it's the turn of Glasgow, who had just 6 riders present at this press event. And across the back we've got James Greaves next to Joe Screen, with Christian Henry and Theo Piper. Kneeling is a very youthful Nick Morris, and Josh Groshonik on the opposite side once again. But what year is this one from? Picture 9, the penultimate team pick, and it's the Newcastle Diamonds, and we've got Stuart Robson next to Steve Worrell. Christian Henry features for a second team photo run-in next to Mark Lemon, and then we've got Richie Worrell and Klaas Nedermark with Ludwig Lindgren kneeling. But what year was this taken? And image number 10, the final team photo, which will complete tonight's opening theme round. And here we've got Nicky Luna next to Scott Nichols, Simon Lambert, Ulrich Ostergaard and Michael Palmtoft. And then we've got Emil Grondal and Tom Bacon kneeling. But what year did they start as the Peterborough Panthers representatives? Moving straight on to our second theme round then, round number 3 and our final round of British Speedway Quiz Night number 12. And tomorrow is July the 4th, and of course that is Independence Day in the United States of America. So we thought we'd take a look at a selection of American riders to feature in British Speedway over the years. So let's see what you know about our friends from across the pond. Hopefully a couple of nice easier ones for our slightly older quizzes to start off with. So round 3, question 1. Which former world champion went on to become an actor in the final season of popular American crime drama series Chips? So which former world champion went on to become an actor in the final season of popular American crime drama series Chips? Question 2. What is the name of Sam Ermolenko's younger brother who also raced in the UK? So what is the name of Sam Ermolenko's younger brother who also raced in the UK? Question 3. In what one decade did Lance King feature in British Speedway? So in what one decade did Lance King feature in British Speedway? Time to bring it slightly more up to date now though for question number 4. Which English club was Greg Hancock racing for when he won the British Speedway Grand Prix for the second time in 2004? So which English club was Greg Hancock racing for when he won the British Speedway Grand Prix for the second time in 2004? Question 5. Billy Janniro spent almost his entire British Speedway career with Coventry, but which other club did he briefly appear for in 2005? So Billy Janniro spent almost his entire British Speedway career with Coventry, but which other club did he briefly appear for in 2005? Question number 6. Who is this American racer pictured during his Redcar racing days? So who is this American racer pictured during his Redcar racing days? Multiple choice with just the 3 options for question number 7. With which British club did Ronnie Correy retire in 2007? So with which British club did Ronnie Correy retire in 2007? Is it A, Bellevue, B, Edinburgh or C, Wolverhampton? Question 8. Which was the first British club to sign Ricky Wells? So which was the first British club to sign Ricky Wells? Question 9. Which former racer was named manager of Team USA in 2013? So which former racer was named manager of Team USA in 2013? And time for the final question of British Speedway quiz night number 12. And it is one final multiple choice coming your way as well. In what year did Ryan Fisher last appear in British Speedway? So in what year did Ryan Fisher last appear in British Speedway? Is it A, 2014, B, 2015, C, 2016 or D, 2017? There we go then, 40 more questions have been fired your way and hopefully you have got 40 answers written down. If you haven't, don't panic, hopefully you made a couple of notes of what the question entailed and this is going to be the perfect chance now for you to fill in any gaps that you may have on your answer sheet. We will be running through tonight's 40 answers in a few moments time. Just before we do though, it's the first request we've had along this nature. And it is a very happy 80th birthday this weekend to Terry Eyre. So Terry, I know you're a regular quizzer and we thank you for playing along each and every week. And Maureen would like to wish you a very happy 80th birthday for this weekend. So time to head to the kitchen, top those drinks up or stay where you are because we are about to head to the British Speedway Video Vault. And then we'll be back in about 3-4 minutes time with tonight's answers.
Oh, but the diamonds have gained it. Richie Worrell on the outside, Stuart Robson on the inside, and Richard Hall's at the back. Oh, this is a 5-1 to the diamonds. This is what they want to draw the meeting. But here comes Richard Hall round the outside. He's gone past his partner, Ricky Wells, and he's now diving under Richie Worrell. Richie's on the outside there. Stop the run. But here's Richard Hall again. Can he squeeze through? No, there's no room there. He switches back to the inside. Can he get through the inside of Richie Worrell? Richie out in the dirt. And Richard Hall's managed to squeeze through going down the back straight. And he moves over, takes Richie's line off and going to the third and fourth. And he's now right behind Stuart Robson. He's diving under Ramo. Oh, this is Richard Hall in his very best. He lifts. Good grief, Richard Hall. Unbelievable stuff by Richard Hall. A captain's performance there from last to first off the Graveyard Gate 3. Richard Hall, the man who never knows when he's beaten.
Heat number 11, Chris Gay. It's been a quiet meeting for him. He releases the tapes as the referee. As Worrell, well, he's made another absolutely brilliant gate and he leads the way from Lambert in second place. Max Frick's getting a bit of lift, but he's still holding on the third ahead of Kai Huckenbach. Out in front then, it is Steve Worrell. It looks like he could be going through the card here with a 4-ride paid maximum. We could well see him in the nominated race as well. He leads the way from Steve Worrell in second place. Max Frick is in third. And Kai Huckenbach, it looks like it's going to be another pointless ride for him. It's a 4-2 for the visitors, at least for Kings Lynn fans. It's not a 5-1 as it has been for the first two times these two have raced with each other. Of course, Worrell and Frick. Here comes Robert Lambert, though. He's making a bit of a move here as they start the final lap. And here he comes now on the inside of Steve Worrell. Worrell's left too much of a gap. The two Englishmen battling it out. And in fact, Lambert has now come through in the first place. An excellent piece of riding by Robert Lambert. He takes the win. Didn't see that one coming. Steve Worrell has to settle for second place. Max Frick third. And nothing there for Kai Huckenbach. It looked as if the visitors were going to move 6 points in front. But Robert Lambert, well, we know what he's capable of here at the Adrian Flux Arena. And showing it again there in heat number 11.
into the first turn. Once again, it's the man off gate number 1 that shows first, Chris Harris, but he's quickly passed by Thomas Jorgensen on the inside, who blasts down the back straight. Jorgensen leads then, Harris is second. In third place, it is Richard Lawson. At the back, and Mikkel Palmtoft, and it's close. Thomas Jorgensen going well. Coming out of turn number 4 and over the line to lead the way. The two Witches riders in second and third. Thomas Jorgensen going way out wide there and then blasting down the back straight. And starts the final lap, but not much between them as they go into the turn. Oh, Thomas Jorgensen maybe makes a little bit of a mistake there, gets out of shape, and he's been passed going down the back straight by Richard Lawson, who's looking for his second win of the meeting, and he gets there. Mega excitement for the Speedway fans here at Vauxhall as Richard Lawson passes Thomas Jorgensen.
Well, some more fine examples there of some Speedway footage from the British Speedway video vaults. Time to see how you got on, though, in British Speedway quiz night number 12. So let's run through the answers. So naturally, let's kick things off with round number 1 then. And question number 1, which British club are nicknamed the Warriors? It was, of course, the Isle of Wight. Well, as always, hopefully a nice, easy nicknames question to kick things off. And the former Islanders were renamed the Warriors following the club's successful return to the sport in 2016. Question 2, which club's crest logo have we zoomed in on here? It was Scunthorpe. Well, yes, I'm hoping that won't have caught too many of you out. But it was, of course, the Black Scorpion of Scunthorpe. Question 3, in a heat of speedway, if a rider is kept in the race by his team manager after touching the tapes in the initial staging, what handicap is he handed in the rerun? It is 15 metres. Well, yes, another test of one of the more basic rules of the sport there. So I'm hoping our SCB referees who play along weekly got that one right anyway. But yeah, if a rider touches the tapes, team managers have the option to bring in a reserve from the starting tapes, or put the rider in question back with a 15-metre starting handicap. Question 4, which National League club are based in the county of Suffolk? Of course, it was Mildenhall. Well, rather than test your stadium knowledge direct, we thought we'd test your geography a little bit this week. And hopefully by the process of elimination, if nothing else, you'll have worked out that it's Mildenhall who race their home fixtures in Suffolk. Question 5, Ruboy is the nickname of which racer? It is, of course, Rory Schlein, and I'm almost certain that all of you will have heard of Schlein being called that at some point over the past couple of decades, and hopefully you're off to a decent start points-wise tonight as well. Multiple choice for question number 6. What country was Birmingham's Valentin Grabauer born in? Was it A, Austria, B, France, C, Germany, or D, Russia? It was option C, Germany. Well, yes, Birmingham's newest recruit was born in Rottal Münster in Germany. So option C will get you the point for that one. Question 7, and we reminded you that the Speedway European Championships get underway tomorrow. And this was a question about the reigning European champion. In which year did Mikkel Mikkelsen last appear in British Speedway? Was it A, 2014, B, 2015, C, 2016, or D, 2017? It was option B, 2015. Well, yes, it was 5 years ago since we last saw Mikkelsen properly in the UK when he raced for Leicester after a 2-year spell with Eastbourne. So option B it was, and seeing as we mentioned the Speedway European Championships there, a good opportunity for us to wish Robert Lambert the best of luck as well as he flies the flag for Great Britain. Question 8, and this was putting riders in a certain order, and from oldest to youngest, can you put the following 4 Ipswich riders in order of their age? And we had A, Jake Allen, B, Jason Crump, C, Danny King, and D, Nikolai Clint. And the correct order was B, C, D, A. So B, C, D, A, that's Jason Crump, Danny King, Nikolai Clint and Jake Allen. Well, Jason Crump was born on August the 6th, 1975, which makes him 44, while Danny King was born on August the 14th, 1986, meaning he is 33. Nikolai Clint was born on December the 29th, 1988, so he's 31, while Jake Allen was born on August the 11th, 1995, meaning he is currently 24. So B, C, D, A was the correct order, and probably one of the easiest questions along those lines we have brought you so far. Question 9. Who is the reigning triple Australian under-21 champion? Correct answer was Jamin Lidsey. Yes, it was the Bellevue Aces youngster who has developed a fine reputation on the shale and is tipped to be one of Australia's most promising up-and-coming racers, and he certainly demonstrated glimpses during his maiden British Speedway campaign last term. Multiple choice once again for question 10. Which racer currently holds Berwick's track record? Was it A, David Bellego, B, Craig Cook, C, Kevin Doolan or D, Aaron Summers? It was option B, Craig Cook. Well, yes, according to the Bandits official website, the Great Britain Ace set a time of 62.8 around the Sheffield Park circuit in August 2015. Question 11. Chris Hunt is the current team manager of which club? It was Kent. Yes, Hunt has been involved with the Kings for a fair amount of time now after striking up a positive working relationship with long-standing promoter Len Silver. Question number 12, multiple choice once more. Which racer won the British Under-21 Championships in 2014 and 2016 and the British Under-19 Championship in 2015? Was it A, Josh Bates, B, Adam Ellis, C, Kyle Howarth or D, Robert Lambert? It was option A, Josh Bates. Well, it was certainly a fine run of individual success for the Barnsley Charger, who is looking to get his career back on track after being hampered in recent seasons by some quite serious injuries. Question 13. Can you name the former rider pictured here during his Eastbourne days? It was Lucas Drimmel. Yes, of course, it was the former Czech international who had spells with Oxford, Poole, Peterborough and Eastbourne during his British Speedway racing days. So Lucas Drimmel, the rider pictured in question 13. More multiple choice for question 14. Which British club did Hans Andersen race for in 2018? Is it A, Leicester, B, Peterborough, C, Poole or D, Swindon? It was option A, Leicester. Well, the Dane has ridden for all of those clubs at some point in his British Speedway career, but he did spend the 2018 season with the Lions in what was a troublesome campaign for the East Midlands outfit. But option A was what we were looking for that one. Question 15. Which British youngster is this pictured during his Somerset mascot days? The answer we were looking for, Henry Atkins. Yes, this was the current Plymouth racer, Henry Atkins, back in 2012. And he has made some steady progression on the shale since and has also represented the Rebels in the championship as well. Question 16. Darcy Ward won a treble with which club during his maiden British Speedway season in 2009? Well, hopefully some of you were able to remember that it was Kings Lynn. Yes, Ward first signed for the Stars, and it was an unforgettable season for the Norfolk side, who won the Premier League, the Knockout Cup and the Premier Trophy treble as well. Question 17. What was the name of the competition which followed the completion of the 2015 National League? Correct answer, the Gold Cup. Well, yes, 2015 saw the third tier scrap the playoff system, with the table toppers being crowned league champions and the top four contesting the Gold Cup, and that eventually saw Eastbourne get the better of league victors Birmingham. More multiple choice for you for question 18. Who has picked up the highest number of silver medals in the history of the British Championships final? A, Craig Cook, B, Chris Harris, C, Joe Screen or D, Kelvin Tatum? It was option C, Joe Screen. Well, yes, Screen had to settle for the runners-up position on 6 occasions in the national final, while Cook, Harris and Tatum all have 3 silver medals in the event to their name. Question 19. Which Grand Prix rider made his home debut for Coventry in their July 2011 Elite League clash against Kings Lynn? The answer, Emil Sayfutdinov. Yes, this was the first of our questions relating to our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast, and it was the Russian rocket Sayfutdinov who finally lined up for the Bees at Brandon on what turned out to be an eventful home debut, to say the least. And last but not least, question 20 in that same fixture, who proved to be a star guest for Coventry, top scoring with 15 points. And if you watched along on Monday night, you'll know that the answer is Ty Woofenden. Well, yes, Woofenden was one of the guests for the Bees who were without 3 of their regular lineup that night, and he played a pivotal part in the win for the host, as well as scoring 15 points from 6 outings. Straight on to round number 2 then, and this week it was called Team Photo. Essentially, we showed you a team picture from a press and practice event. We read you through the lineup as well. All you needed to do was tell us what year it was taken. To try and guide you along the way as well, we did advise that there may be more than one photo from one year, and at least one of the answers was 2010, and we also said that none of the answers were before that year of 2010 as well, so hopefully you took that into account as we went through. Time to find out the answers then for picture number 1, and from left to right we had Adam Ellis, Troy Batchelor, David Lampart and Tobias Musilat, with Jason Doyle seated and both Zach Weitnecht and James Shanes kneeling. But what season did they start the year with Swindon? It was, of course, 2019. It was only last season's title-winning Robin's side, so 2019 was the answer we were looking for. Lampart, Weitnecht and Shanes left the team during the course of the season. Picture number 2, and we had Mikael Beck, Eunice Kilmacorpy and Max Clegg with skipper Freddie Lindgren on his machine. Then it was Jakob Torshäll, Kyle Howarth and Sam Masters. But which season's Wolverhampton side was this? It was 2016, and it was the 2 gentlemen on the left in Beck and Kilmacorpy who were replaced by fans' favourites Peter Carlson and Ty Woofenden on their way to clinching Elite League glory. Team picture number 3, and it was the Sheffield Tigers. At their press event, we had Lasse Bier, Todd Kurtz, Rob Branford, Carl Howarth, Josh Bates, Josh Groshonek and Jack Parkinson Blackburn. But what year was it? It was the Tigers Championship victors of 2017, and the luminous greeny yellow certainly stood out, didn't it? But the team ended Sheffield's league trophy drought with 2 starting reserves, Branford and Parkinson Blackburn, making way partway through the year. Picture number 4, and you will have recognised that this was Birmingham, but what year did their team consist of Chris Harris, Martin Smolinski, Nico Cavati, Danny King, Josh Orty, Jason Doyle and Ben Barker? It was 2013, and yes, while it was a memorable one for the Brummies in many respects, as they topped the regular Elite League standings, it does also leave something of a sour taste in their supporters' mouths after being beaten in the grand final by Poole. Talking of Poole, and they were the focus for picture number 5. And as we said, what a team this was. Darcy Ward, Bjarne Pedersen, Davey Watt, Chris Holder, Jason Doyle, and the reserves, Artur Marochka and Leon Madsen. But what year were they the Pirates lineup? It was 2010, and we told you 2010 would be included somewhere along the line, and what a wonderful set of riders that was as well. They did fulfil the potential by romping to the top of the regular Elite League standings, only to slip up to a Coventry side in the grand final who had finished staggeringly 26 points below them. So 2010 was the answer for picture number 5. Straight on to picture number 6, and a Kings Lynn side on your screen with Lewis Rose, Lewis Kerr, Casper Anderson and Thomas Jorgensen alongside team manager Dale Allett and squad member Josh Bailey standing. In front of them we had Ty Proctor, Robert Lambert and Niels Christian Everson. But what year did this group represent the Stars? Well, it was just 2 years ago, and 2018, that these riders brought great hope to the Adrian Flux Arena. The Stars finished top of the pile, only to miss out to Poole in the playoff final. Straight on to team shot number 7. And from left to right standing, we had Bradley Wilson-Dean, Jake Allen, Charles Wright and Paul Stark, with Josh Groshonek seated, and Zach Weitnecht kneeling on the left with Rowan Tungate kneeling on the right. But what year was this Somerset team photo from? It was 2016, and the year that Somerset were the final winners of the second tier during its Premier League name days. Not only did they finish top of the standings, but then went on to beat Sheffield in the grand final ahead of their elevation to the top flight. Picture number 8, and it was the turn of Glasgow, who had just 6 riders present at their press event in this year. And we had James Greaves next to Joe Screen with Christian Henry and Theo Piper. Kneeling was Nick Morris and Josh Groshonik once again, but what year was this Glasgow team from? It was 2011. And Glasgow made changes with the likes of Richard Sweetman, Mikhail Rajovsky and David Bellego also featuring along the way. But it was one of the Scottish Tigers' more memorable seasons to date, as they were crowned Premier League winners in 2011. Picture number 9 and the penultimate team picture. It was the Newcastle Diamonds, and we had Stuart Robson next to Steve Worrell. Christian Henry featured once again. He was next to Mark Lemon, Richie Worrell and Claire Snedermark with Ludwig Lindgren kneeling. But what year was this one taken? It was 2012, and while the Diamonds topped the Premier League table by just 1 point, the playoffs wouldn't be so kind to Newcastle, with the Knockout Cup success their only achievement for the season in the end. Final picture for round number 2 and picture number 10. The final team photo, and we had Nicky Luna next to Scott Nichols, Simon Lambert, Ulrich Ostergaard and Michael Palmtoft with Emil Grandal and Tom Baker kneeling. But what year did they start as the Peterborough Panthers representatives? It was 2018, yes, 2018, once again in a season that had held so much promise for the Panthers as they topped the championship standings, before things went horribly wrong as they eventually crashed out of the playoffs at the hands of Lakeside. Straight on to our final round, round 3 then. This week it was called From Across the Pond, with Independence Day happening tomorrow in the United States of America. So we took a look at a random selection of some of the American riders to have graced British Speedway. And hopefully we started with nice, easier ones for our slightly older quizzes. With question 1, which former world champion went on to become an actor in the final season of popular American crime drama series Chips? It was, of course, Bruce Penhall. Well, of course, it was the former Cradley Heath star Penhall who played the role of Cadet Officer Bruce Nelson, before also going on to get a few movie credits next to his name as well. Question 2, what is the name of Sam Ermolenko's younger brother who also raced in the UK? The answer, Charles Dukey Ermolenko. Yes, Sam is the elder brother of Dukey, as he was more affectionately known in British Speedway, and the pair raced together at Wolverhampton, with spells at Glasgow, Long Eaton and Kings Lynn, also for Charles Dukey Ermolenko. Question 3, in what one decade did Lance King feature in British Speedway? It was the 1980s. Yes, King made his debut with Cradley Heath in 1982 and stayed at Dudley Wood for 3 seasons. In 1986 and 1987 he was with Bradford, before spending his final 2 seasons over here with Kings Lynn. So the 80s was the decade we were looking for. A bit more up to date for question 4. Which English club was Greg Hancock racing for when he won the British Speedway Grand Prix for the second time in 2004? It was Oxford, yes, the Oxford Silver Machine Hancock was with at that time in 2004, in the middle of his spell with the Cowley outfit. Question 5, Billy Janniro spent almost his entire British Speedway career with Coventry, but which other club did he briefly appear for in 2005? Correct answer was Peterborough. Well, yes, the multi-American champion made 307 appearances in British Speedway by my reckoning, and all but 5 of them were for Coventry, with those extra appearances coming during a brief spell with Peterborough Panthers 15 years ago. Question 6, who is this American racer pictured during his Redcar racing days? It was Chris Kerr. Yes, Chris Kerr, who is best known for his time with the Bears, who ironically were the first British club to take a gamble on him as well. But he also later enjoyed a solid season with Newport. He was also at Wolverhampton, where he was an Elite League winner in 2009. And that was before last being seen over here in the UK in 2010 with Birmingham. Multiple choice for question 7, just the 3 options as well. With which British club did Ronnie Correy retire in 2007? A, Bellevue, B, Edinburgh, or C, Wolverhampton? It was option B, Edinburgh. Well, yes, the pocket rocket may be most commonly associated with Wolverhampton, but it was the Edinburgh Monarchs who he spent his final season in British Speedway with. So option B was what we were looking for that one. Question 8, which was the first British club to sign Ricky Wells? Correct answer was Coventry. Yes, it was the Coventry Bees who first signed Wells back in 2009. The same year, he was also crowned the AMA American Champion. Penultimate question then of British Speedway Quiz Night number 12. Which former racer was named manager of Team USA in 2013? It was Billy Hamill. Yes, Billy the Bullet Hamill, who was appointed 7 years ago. And under his guidance, Team USA enjoyed some respectable progress as a nation on the world stage during his few years in charge. And last but not least in tonight's quiz, question 10. In what year did Ryan Fisher last appear in British Speedway? A, 2014, B, 2015, C, 2016 or D, 2017? It was option C, 2016. Well, yes, the Fish, or Flying Ryan, depending which club you cheered him on at, returned to Edinburgh, where he was certainly popular for one final spell in 2016 before opting to focus on spending more time with his family. So then, how would you rate your performance in British Speedway Quiz Night number 12? What was your score? Are you happy with it? Either way, whether you are or not, do let us know. We love seeing how you have performed and got on. How many points out of 40 you got that were up for grabs as always, as we award 1 point per question. So do let us know your score by entering it in the comment section underneath this video. As ever, we said beforehand, there are no prizes and it is all for a bit of fun, and hopefully you have had a bit of fun and enjoyment over the past hour or so. Time to remind you then that the speedwaygb.co.uk official British Speedway website is the place to keep in touch for all the latest breaking news. Obviously, we're expecting some more announcements from the government over the next week or so, and they could have a big say on how the 2020 British Speedway season pans out. And as ever, any breaking news, then the official British Speedway website, speedwaygb.co.uk, is the place you will hear it first. Social media channels, once again, Twitter at SpeedwayGB, on Facebook search SpeedwayGB, Instagram at Official British Speedway, and search Speedway Great Britain and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to continue providing plenty of content over the next few weeks, like we have done throughout the whole lockdown period. And as I said, Monday night, our latest Monday Night Speedway broadcast, July the 6th, 7:30, as we head back to the summer of 2016 and an Elite League clash between the Wolverhampton Wolves and the Bellevue Aces. Freddie Lindgren, Sam Masters, Peter Carlson, Scott Nichols, Craig Cook, and many more involved. It really is another belting contest, so do not miss that. Monday, July the 6th, 7:30 on our Facebook and YouTube channels. We'll be back next Friday for the latest instalment of the British Speedway Quiz Night. Again, 8:30 on our Facebook and YouTube channels, so do join us. In the meantime, if you are taking part in Slurping Saturday tomorrow as the pubs reopen, then please do stay safe and remain sensible. In the meantime, I'm off to queue for the barbers. Enjoy your weekend.